I've spent the morning trying to tidy this area of the car up. One of the problems I've had is not having a really good place to put things like the overflow bottle, and also because there was a gap in the frame rails here in front of where the battery goes, I tended to get a nice collection of stone chips up in the battery compartment. Well, now I've put this piece of aluminium plate, well, it's only sheet really, across the gap, and I've used that as a place to mount both the fuel filter, fuel pump and the radiator overflow bottle. I've had to make up brackets to hold that in place. This will keep everything sort of where it's nicely accessible for maintenance, but keep it nice and tidy as well. Pieces on the manifold there that are not actually connected to anything. They are like that on purpose because I don't actually have coolant going into the manifolds, although I do have the coolant that feeds to the automatic choke going through the base of the actual carburetor mounting manifold. There's a return line here to circulate the coolant fully. I have one of the spigots on this coolant fitting that I made here is for the return line for the heating system that I've talked about here. Of course, I have my 2025D distributor mounted onto the end of the camshaft instead of the original Nissan distributor. And you'll see those Larry spark plug leads. Engine as much as I possibly can to make it to do the job without a computer. And now I use my great electric winch to haul it up and then try and put it in the car.
Do you keep to sleep really easily, or do you find yourself going to getting a really good night's sleep? We're going to talk about some of those this afternoon. And if you have any tips, tricks, 0467 922 612. We'll also find out this afternoon. Now is the wrong time to play that sleeping boy. And yes, it may surprise you. Unless you're BBC Local Radio Queensland. Is that a familiar sound for you? Your partner, male or female? Wide awake. And why is it that you can't sleep at home in bed? But at the staff meeting this afternoon, you're going to be out like a light in minutes. Dr. Roger Allen is from the Western Pacific. Hello.
Hello, Kelly.
Do we know when some people can drop off at the drop of a hat and others just cannot get a good night's sleep below the lane?
Strangely enough, when I pulled the engine I didn't have to take the radiator off, but I think I'm going to have to take the radiator off to be able to get enough of an angle to get the rear of the transmission underneath the top bar of the engine bay. What a pain. Right, let's try again. I'll really have to push down on the back as it comes down.
That was glass, not bottle, wasn't it?
Just glass,
I've got some friends that I'm going to have to clarify that. Okay. Yeah, how about warm milk? That's fun.
Yeah, warm milk that ships the train in. It's got a weak, there's some benefit in sleep onset.
favour the Greens and the prospectors need to be aware that the name of the transition is very carefully about their actions, because if he turns down a new offer and the adjacent inland north of about Sunshine Coast, some scattered showers tomorrow for eastern districts, as well as north of about Charlton. In the southeast, the possible showers today and again tomorrow, 15 to 26 in Brisbane, the Gold Coast 15 to 25, 13 to 25 on the Sunshine Coast, 11 to 26 in Ipswich. Looking ahead, isolated showers Thursday and Friday. This is ABC News.
Well,
No, which is good. It's all flowing well. Like it opened on Charlotte Road this afternoon. Just right to know what it where that's just exactly it actually shoots the road through.
Shouldn't they? They should, and to celebrate the whole southeast day, Chris Welch has made us a couple of brandy Alexanders, which I haven't had in a very long time.
well, that's the engine in, exhaust headers on, and a couple of pipes put back on, radiator on. Looks the part. I'm just going to make the right noises. A couple of issues have turned up, as they usually do when you do these sort of things. I'm going to have to rework my inlet there, because I think it'll foul the side of the bonnet. I've drawn a couple of lines. I'll cut it back to the line furthest away from the bottom of the screen there, and of course that means I'll have to fold the flanges up again and work out where to mount the round pipe. Might need a longer intermediate pipe to the air cleaner, because I want to put the air cleaner right down there, well out of the way, where it'll get a bit of cool air from in the openings in the side of the body there. But that seems to be okay. Maybe I'll have to be concerned about how close the fuel line there goes to the header pipe. There's about an inch clearance, but maybe if I shorten that that fuel line loop from the hard line to the filter, it'll give a bit more clearance. And of course I have to run the fuel line from the pump, which I put down there, up to the carburetor inlet. But you know, getting there. So I'll be ready to try and make it start sooner rather than later. Of course I spilled a bit of transmission fluid on the ground, as you do, and I've got to climb under the car and disconnect the tail shaft from the diff, so that I can manipulate the front yoke into the gearbox, because I couldn't manage to do that on my own, getting the engine into position. But I'll get to that. That won't be too difficult.